Hello, greetings, welcome back to another episode. We're here where we're gonna try and make a little bit more progress today as we do each and every single day. And today I think we're gonna start off with a little bit of, we need some leaves, honestly. That's what we're going to start with. So let's hop over here, a skip, and a jump away. And let's get us some leaves so that we can actually, potentially, maybe, finish a little island here. And I really want to get kind of like a look at how it's going and expand all of this over that way. That'll be a project for much, much later on, but I know it'll look so good if we decide to do it that way, so we definitely should. It'll look good, it'll be real, and it will be nice. Plus, it'll make a huge difference that I don't think you will comprehend until it happens. So, we're here, we're gonna just shear a few trees and such while we're doing this here. And we should probably cut down the tree too, realistically, just because it looks weird. Right? We're going to use the wood anyway. We should probably just cut it down, just so we don't have to look at it and see that. And I really like the shape of these trees. I wonder if we could potentially make our own trees, but on a much grandiose scale. I think that would be pretty cool if that's something we could make happen. And it might go pretty well with our village here. I'm currently thinking about doing probably big palm trees would be my best guess here as to what we're going to do for types of trees, because the trees that we were previously doing are definitely not going to work for this. The big droopy trees, because of the landscape, it just doesn't work too well. So we're not going to be able to do that, and that is unfortunate because this looks so freaking good. But we will be able to do a few trees here and there, palm tree style. And I think we want to have a lot of sand in this build and a lot of, I don't know, random smorgasbord of things, I guess. I don't know. We'll make it work. We always do. But I definitely at some point want to cut this all back just so it's much, much deeper here. And it also feels like, you know, it is an island, but it's very close to land, right? And I'd like to cut that back too. Bring it back like pretty decent and be able to do that. Anyway, we're going to start off here with making our next tree. Or not tree. Our next, what would you call it? Our next pen for our, in this case it will be for trees, but let's just fill this in because I don't know what's going to need filling and what's not, so it's easier just to do it, and then we'll get rid of it later. So we want to do this again here, just kind of nice and gingerly go all the way to the edge. And I think that will help us a little bit here. Perfect. And do we have the grass on us to do this? Oh, yes. Alright, so we want to extend this a little bit just so we have the shoreline again, right behind it. It's such a little simple thing, but I think it actually makes a big difference having it or not having it. So we are going to do it. Maybe it'll make a difference. I don't know. Well, we'll figure that part out as well, but I do know that I want it, so we're just going to go ahead and do it. It is pretty crazy how little time we've spent in this world, though, and it is already starting to become something that I will really like, and I appreciate that immensely. Boom, boom, like that, and then we do gotta bring this one down like that. And that'll be pretty good. So we have room for 3 types of wood here, and we could possibly do one more if we were to take this puppet down. And I think that we should. So let's carve out a little bit of an area here. Will take a little bit, but we'll get it. Oh, hello. Oh, I was like, what is that? Why are you here? Let's just do that. Keep our iron golems flowing there, and then I guess we'll just have to go this way. And that is kind of where the other farm stops anyway, so that's probably sufficient. And let's start getting rid of this. I know it's all flat at the moment, but we'll fix that in due time here. We just gotta, get everything right. Before we go ahead and do a whole lot of stuff, we gotta get it all right. Let's go ahead and throw a bunch of dirt in here. And throw some log in here as well. We got a couple seeds that we're never gonna use. And some cobbly bits and some sand. Which is beautiful. We already got ourselves 5 stacks of sand, which is pretty nice. And we should be able to carve through this like absolute frickin' butter. It's nice. Because not everything has to be difficult in this game. Some of it should be very easy. Not require a whole lot of grind, and that's what we got going here, I think. I'm also debating on if we should then carve out this over here. So, we could, right? Very easily carve it out. We should do this at the very least. Put this back, because it looks weird. And we're going to take this out as well. Let's take it down to like here in hopes that that will be deep enough. So if we decide to dig out this area, it won't be an issue. Okay. Let's just do that. Pour everything in here. And completely get rid of all the water. Not necessary, but definitely going to help us in the long run anyway, so might as well. And then we can do another one. Like, this is a very small one for trees, right? But it's okay. Make it work. Right about here should be the other side. And let's bring it all the way down, just like we do. Very simple, but very elegant. So we'll go and bring it all the way to here, and then starting here is where we're going to go ahead and just taper this off and make this island just a little bit smaller still. I think that'll help just a little. Yep, and then we want to extend this kind of going all the way around here. So let's just do this kind of like that over here and connect like that. That should work just nicely. And then that allows us to get rid of this in its entirety now. So let's get it out of here, and we'll have to see how this is feeling, how it's looking. But I think in this case, the smaller the better. The less land that we have to really worry about, we are going to be able to make a lot bigger of an impact here on our very first starter base before we go absolutely bonkers and try to do something on a scale that is very, very large. Don't know if I can call it a mega base, but very, very large. I don't know if we're up to that yet. To me, a mega base is much more than like 10,000 blocks, for example. It's just as big as I can possibly make it, really. So, yes. We should do the same thing here, probably, right? Okay, let's go around the edge just so we can do a great flooding all by itself. Shouldn't take too long to carve out the edges here, and it does make it really easy for us to flood the whole thing once we are able to. Which is very, very good, though. We have silk touch on our shovel, too. That means we can get gravel. That's beautiful. Okay, we're almost around the entire edge here, and once we get around the edge, then we can just go buck wild on this thing. And that is very nice. Makes it really easy. And, yeah. It's also very satisfying, too. Just having it all flood from nothing. I don't know. Something about that. It just looks pretty cool. Let's do that one as well. And let's go sleep, drop off our blocks right quick, and then we'll get back to it. I do need to get up there again and see how we're looking as well. Let's sleep. I'm going to sleep the nights away for the moment just because we're trying to light things up and trying to get things done. Don't really want to have to stop. And, yeah, that's really the reason. It's not because the mobs are scary or dangerous or anything like that. It's just they're a pain in the ass to deal with, to be completely honest. And I don't want to. So let's drop off this crap over here. We don't need the leaves at this moment, so I guess we'll just plop them in there, get rid of that, put that away. All right, perfect. Very perfect. Like, I guess trees can go in these. That's going to look so weird, too, though. It's fine. It's fine. Alright, now that we've carved out the edges, let's just finish up the rest of this, and then we'll go ahead and flood it. That'll be pretty nice. And again, we'll have to fix the terraforming underneath this eventually, but not right now. Just don't have it in me. So for now, we're just going to do it like this, leave it one deep, and then we'll make it better later. Although the smart thing would probably be to just do it now. I'm not going to. That is the plain and simple, honest answer there. I'm just not going to. Plus, we don't have that many shovels or anything like that yet, so everything takes time and XP, of which I do not have very much of. So, we definitely got to be careful before we go into major projects like that. We need to at least have an XP farm or ways to get more tools and all of that before we do that, for sure. Otherwise, it'll be a freaking nightmare. And we have to stop every 2 seconds, and it's just not fun. So, we're going to go ahead and finish this really quick here, and it's almost done. We're going to try to pick up all of that sand, because we're going to need it. We're going to need sand, we're going to need sandstone, in efforts to make this kind of brighter. Since the road is very dark oak wood, the rest of it needs to be on a much lighter scale, because you can really only have one dark block, unless you're going for like a grungy feel, right? So, because of that, the rest of the blocks and the palette have to be relatively light, or at least a shade darker, or a shade lighter than what we're using. So we're going to use sand, we're going to use sandstone, we're going to use walls, we're going to use some kind of like color block, like teal or something. I don't know. I guess let's just pick up a bunch more before we flood it. Might as well. Alright. And with that, we should now be able to flood it. Can't outrun the water. Never can, never could, never will. Alright, let's get it flooded from all sides here. And then I really want to go up on our ladder and just see how this is feeling before we start carving in or out the plateau that we got here. Just want to see how it feels, how it looks, and then we'll go from there. Shouldn't take us too long to flood this whole thing, and as you can see, it goes by really quickly. And it also looks cool. It would look cooler if we had like free cam going or something, but nevertheless, looks pretty good. There we go. Whole thing is flooded now. And that is beautiful. And our inventory is also full again, which, you know, happens. We do have a mess of dirt, by the way. An absolute ton. Alright, let's do that. And I want to go up here, just see how we're looking in terms of size, and then we'll make a decision here. See what we're going to do about it, see if it's going to work the way I intended it to, or what. It's kind of circular, right? It's like a bean-shaped. We definitely could have made it more circular if we had tried, but we didn't do that. So it does look like we need to cut out just a little bit more right here, and there needs to be one more. And then, as you can see, that is like the outer lip right there, connecting all the farms to each other. And then in here is going to be where I want them to like have their market stalls. So we're going to dig this down quite a few blocks. I don't know how many exactly, but I do know that we need to do that. And it actually looks, I don't know, pretty good. Weird wavy lines and curves and all of that, but it looks like okay, right? Looks okay. And then once we carry the dark oak into here, I think it'll look even better. Pathway throughout all of them. And yeah, we'll have to see how deep we want to do this. Either that, or do we leave it at the same level? Maybe go one block down. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out very, very soon here. Kablank. Alright, let's check our iron. Oh, pretty good. I don't know how there's dirt in there, but it's fine. We got some. And we're gonna have to do just a little bit more here. Make this right. Make it all go away. We got enough room for 5 types of trees, I believe. Which is, it's okay. That's fine. I am good with that shape. And that seems big enough. Perfect. Let's not do it like that, though, because otherwise it just will not work. Alright, so we're going to go over here, and here is where you got your thing. And then we're going to follow it all the way around here, contouring the land. All the way down here. And we're going to need more leaves to finish this, but for the moment, I think I am pretty okay with how we have this going. Then all that's left to do is add our border here. And that should look pretty good. So all we gotta do, contour it just a little bit more. And we're going around. We gotta get rid of the stone in this case. It's just not gonna look good. And we cannot put our new dark oak here, if we have that here. So let's do just a couple. Good. And in here. And then we also have to go again this way. And I want it to be a big loop, I think. It's the only way this makes sense, so we'll have to connect the two. Switch like that, and come all the way around. Got one more here. And then how do I want to connect it over there? I don't know yet. We'll have to figure that one out. Like, do we just go over there? Or do we have to make it rounded? That is the true question here, of which I do not have an answer. What I do have is dark oak planks, though. It's looking a little too skinny over there. Don't like it. Not good enough. Okay. Keep going. Keep going. Till we run out of the slabs or we finish it here. One or the other. We're gonna just keep going. And hope for the best. So like that, I think. That feels too large, actually. That works. Perfect. And we got an iron golem falling to his death, of course. Beautiful. Very, very beautiful. Okay, almost have enough, I think. Come on, have enough. Don't want to chop more logs at the moment. But I know... Oh, it's going to be just short, isn't it? Just freaking short. Oh, actually, we had enough. Beautiful. That allows us to go almost the entire way here with that now. Perfect. Alright, that actually is feeling really good. Chop these trees down, and then we gotta start digging this whole thing down one. And figure out just kind of what structures we are building here, because I have no freaking idea. Also, we should probably put some torches down, but not until that moment. When I flatten it, or when I take it down at least one block there, I don't think it is wise. So, yeah, that's going to do it for today. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, ciao.